spacer joint in it, and so if I take a measurement of that, at the thickest it's 20.6, maybe 20.5 millimeters, and the new one, the new Moog heavy duty, is a little thicker. Like I said on my other one, this was 22.1, so 2 millimeters thicker. Who knows if that's going to make a difference. So. Alright, I'm going to clean the inside of these out real good. I'm going to hit it with a little bit of this to hopefully try to prevent some rust. Alright, I wire brushed all that. I'm going to paint it with some anti-rust stuff. This is I'm going to talk about Dan H, Project Dan H's channel. He's really got some good XJ stuff. So he showed some axle seals. The axle seals from the factory are garbage. You can see the garbage that's up in there. Now there actually is another axle seal way up, which is an actual true seal up there near the differential, and that's what's keeping all the fluid from coming back this way. But this is really just like a water seal. It's really not water. It's not made to be watertight, but they actually make a watertight seal for that. So if you do some heavy off-roading or something, you might want to consider that. I'm not going to worry about it. And while you're here, it's a good time to replace your bump stop. I got these. These are cheap from Quadratech, but or maybe I got them from Morris 4x4. These are the Fairchild ones. I don't recommend these. I recommend getting the Crown ones if you're going to go. They're only a couple of dollars more. These are just so soft, I don't know if they're going to do any good. I got another video on that. Basically, you just stick this in there and it snaps up in there. Alright, while that dries, we'll go do the U-joint. Be very careful with these. Do not let these needle bearings get messed up. Make sure you get that centered. Hold those caps on, and we're going to use the vise to press it in. Don't drop those caps. Centered. I'm going to slowly press them in. Just enough till we can get the little C-clamp on there. Here too. And this will go right here. All right, the one with the C-clamp in it can now go back in there so I can get this one in, because if I just keep squeezing it together, they're not going to be symmetrical. So I'm going to use this to be able to do that. But I'm not going to use an impact when I tighten it. All right, last but not least, put the grease zerk fitting in the end cap, and you actually screw it with a screwdriver. And it takes one of the needle type of apparatuses for your grease gun to stick up in there. I'm gonna clean these splines up a little bit, and then put some grease on them and reinstall it. Put you a liberal coat of grease on it, and then just slide it on in. And that's what she'll look like when she's in. Now this dust shield is all rusty, so I'm going to clean that up. I'm not going to show you that. Alright, within the box of the hub, that's your number there, it says stop, use a torque wrench, do not use an impact wrench. And they're mean on the hub right here, because when you do that, you'll press on the bearing, and you don't want to compress it too much. You'll wear the bearing out. And it actually gives you the torque specifications for Jeeps. So 90 to 01 Jeep Cherokee front says 175 foot-pounds. So that's what we're going to torque it to. Put some anti-seize all around here to keep, this is what holds you up in the future. And you want to grease up the spline real good so when it goes in there. Now what you don't want to do is you do not want to use anti-seize on the hub nut, because that 175 foot-pounds is dry. I saw a lot of forum issues that people are putting anti-seize on this, and their hub backing off and their tire flying off, so we don't want that to happen. Also, you put a little grease here and a little grease here, because this is where your brake pads ride back and forth. Alright, got the splines greased, got my brake pad area greased. About to put that on here, and then we'll push it up onto there. Alright, got my Dan H amount of anti-seize on there. Gonna put my backing plate. Alright, when you go to put this on, it's kind of a half moon shape. You use the cutout part, goes by like that, so you can have room for your caliper. It actually goes just like that. Alright, got the hub bolts all cleaned up. That's those star type of bolts, and if you look on there, there's a number. Barely you can make it out, but I think they're hardened steel, so I wouldn't try to replace them with anything else. Looks like 0.9, what it says on the head, or 10.9. I think it's 10.9. I don't know. I don't even know what that means. Now these bolts, you definitely want to put a lot of anti-seize on it, because these were hard to come out. And I think these are torqued to 75 or 80 pounds. I'm going to go to 80 millimeter 12 point. These are going to get torqued down, but just using this ratchet to get it. Okay, don't forget to put your washer and this nut and your 36 millimeter axle socket, and you're going to torque it, but no, do not use that. Now, since it's up off the ground, you're going to need to somehow wedge. I've got a pry bar wedge, so when I crank down on this won't turn. All right, and last but not least, you put your little spring on there and a pin through it. All right, got the cotter key on there, the little nut cap, and now we just got to put the rotor on and the caliper, and we'll be done. All right, I got the rotor on, and I just use a little lug nut to hold it while I put the caliper on here. Of course, now's a good time to change the bump stop. Okay, just put the caliper bolts back in. Now this is a soft socket. Look at this husky socket right here. I'm not even sure how that happened. Anyway, one of the casualties of this job, but not too many. So the only two casualties I had was this socket and this needle nose. We'll call them tool casualties. I don't think I had any other failures. And that's it. Just ready for the tire. Well, my front end bearing noise went away. And my latest mod is working fine. Now, these vehicles are noisy anyway, but I don't have that roaring sound anymore. Well, I just took a test drive to my secret bunker location, and it is running awesome. No more growl in the front. Wheels didn't fly off. So we are doing really good with the cheap Jeep. I don't know if it's so cheap anymore. We may have to change the name. All right, y'all have a great weekend and don't get too close to one another.